son. If you don't have to record this yet, you don't want to, but Don told me that Rus, just a second, we were talking about Rus yesterday. Rus is such an ugly sounding word. Ruth is much nicer. Anyways, when we talked about Rus yesterday, Root is the worst of all. Root. Anyways, Root. So, anyways, Root, Begamat. I don't know what to make of this, just I'm taking facts that Don's which I liked. Root, Begamatria is 606. Because, and when she was with Gaeret, she took on the whole mitzvah, but she had 7 from before, because already she was the Noach, so she took on the 606 more. I like that. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe it's even, I don't know. Maybe it's, I told you this Gilit. It's a machlokas. I said yesterday if Ruth was her original name or not. But anyways, okay. That was a good way to fill them out. Put another recording thing here. Okay, so I was trying to get my head around a definitive, good simon, but it wasn't working for me. Anyways, let's see what happens. Maybe it'll be Siatish one. Yeah, we still have like 50 minutes. Here we go. So, we're holding the Daf Zion on base, making our way through. Don't forget your simanim. I'll review them at the end. Review them at the end when I finish the Daf. We'll go through all the simanim and Bez Hashem and one more. Excuse me. In any case, here we're holding before we get there on Daf Zion on the base. The last thing we said was that it's mutter to contend with wicked people, but we gave you some reasons why you might want to hesitate. Among them, if you don't have a Gomor, if it's Shah Mischekeslo, if they're having a winning streak, or if it's a personal matter as opposed to a Vishmaya, a heavenly concern. But the sugi is actually very complex. The truth is, I'm not going to really think about it, because if you have all these dimensions at play, so it becomes a little complex. How with the sugya, when you say, in other words, we have one dimension of Shah Mischekeslo or not, he's on a winning streak. We have one dimension, like a different dimension of if it's a personal matter or like a heavenly matter. And we have another, I don't want to do it, I guess, another dimension. If you were at Tzaddik Gomor or not, so it's not clear in these answers if we're talking about 1, 2, or 3 of those conditions, and how many of those conditions we're talking about each of the equal examples. It's not clear, and we could discuss it at length, but we're not going to, unless you really want to. But in any case, so that's that. So that's where we left off, and now we're at the bottom of the Amud with another statement. I think this is number 7 of Amr Yochanan. So we have here line 43. Kol hakovei makom l'tfilaso, and there's only girsa according to the Rif, it's l'toraso. Whoever establishes a fixed place for his praying, he prays in the same place every day, or learns in the same place every day, the latter would make more sense in as much as we already talked about in kovei makom previously. But notwithstanding, by the context, tefillah might make more sense because of the proof text. Either way, oivav noflim tachtav, his enemies fall beneath him. He'll overcome his enemies. Shneimar, the pasuk says. So this pasuk, David Melech said he wants to build a Beis Hamikdash for Hashem, and Hashem basically says, "Well, that's great, and we are going to do that. It's a good plan, but you won't be the one to do it because you have blood in your hands." In any case, so when Hashem is saying, yes, we are going to do that, just not right now, he says, V'samti makum la'ami, Hashem says, I will affix a place for my people, Li Yisrael, meaning that will be the place for the prayer, presumably, that's praying, with the Beis Hamikdash, Unatatav, and I will affix them there, the Shakan Tachtav, and they will dwell beneath it, I guess, the roof, so to speak, of that place of refuge, of sanctuary, this sanctuary. V'lo yirgaz od. Remember we had rigzu val techatu, agitate yourself, so don't come to sin when you overcome the Yetzer Hara over there. So here, v'lo yirgaz od, they will not be hassled anymore. Lo yasifu b'nei avla la'anoso. That's the important part here I get to focus on. No longer b'nei avla, bad guys come to be ma'ana them. Like an inui, isn't like inui from Yom Pesach, or like had ona'ah, to oppress someone. So b'nei avla, bad guys, sinners, will not oppress you anymore, kasher b'rishonan, as they had in the past. So again, this a lot of words. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, if you're kovei a place for your prayer or your learning, here's the issue. Your enemies will fall beneath you, meaning they won't hassle you. As it says, "V'samti makom la'mi v'Yisrael v'natata v'shachan tachtav." I'll establish. It's not the point of the proof text so far. Just saying that Hashem will establish a base of Mikdash, and they will be there. The Jews will be there in a fixed place. The tativ will be affixed, like planted there. V'shachan tachtav. They will take refuge in that place. That's affixing the fixed place of your prayer. The year goes owed, and in response to that, no longer will you be hassled. Will you sifu b'nei avla anoso? The bad guys will no longer bother you, kasher b'rishona, as they used to. That's the source.
When it says b'rishona,
yeah.
To me it means more than anymore. It means like it says here in the beginning, which is to me a reference to Amalek. I mean, we're supposed to eliminate Amalek.
I don't
see that. What does it mean in the beginning? In the beginning of when we were our nation?
From the outset, before you had a place. Like the Jews,
we didn't have a place when we were in the Midbar.
Right, and then we were under ongoing. I mean, yes, they faced Amalek, but they did face other people too. They had, I don't know, Ammon and all that to deal with them, and they had ongoing hassles with. The truth is, Amalek was driving them crazy at the time of David Melech, but I don't think that's the point.
Okay.
But anyways, even if that, I don't think that's the point. Even if that would be the point in context of in Shmuel, even though the Navi meant there, let's say, but so what? In other words, so what? As much as our proof text is saying in general, if you affix the same way, once the Jews have a fixed place of refuge to pray in or to learn in, the base of Mikdash, then they will be oblivious to the hassles that come on as they used to be subject to by those who would otherwise do bad by them, those evildoers. But no longer will that happen once they have a base of Mikdash. So you see also, if you establish your own little private sanctuary where you learn or where you daven, here's the issue, then also the bad guys who had previously hassled will stop hassling you. That's the story. Yeah.
Is kasher b'rishona the end of the quote?
Yes. End of quote. Fine. Now, that's the story in Shmuel base. That's the pasuk proof text, and everything's cool. Like period. New paragraph. Rav Huna is going to point out. He's going to rami. He's going to throw together two contradictory psukim. This same pasuk, essentially, identically, is told over in Shmuel base when Hashem says, "David Melech, we're going to build a base of Mikdash, and it'll be good." The same, this Divrei Hayamim. Divrei Hayamim is like Chronicles. It's like a recap of the story, the whole story of everything. And there's obviously much overlap because it's the same story we told again. So this pasuk exists exactly the same in Divrei Hayamim, with one changed word. So that is the issue. Rav Huna is saying, essentially, in my words, he's saying, like, why do we change from this word to that word? From la'anoso, which, like in my Gemara, I've like scribbled underlined la'anoso, in that previous pasuk, which inui, to hassle you, to oppress you, and now we're going to have lechaloso. Kaleh is to wipe out. Like remember we had the kasha. Tosfos asked the kasha by Bilam. Or where was that? Where was Bilam? Where we see Bilam? Bilam's going to wipe out the Jewish people at the moment Hashem gets angry. That was on Daf Zion. This stuff. Okay, that's what I remember. We'll review later today. Yeah. But Tosa, if it happens, Hashem gets angry in a rega, and a rega is how long it takes to say the word rega or whatever, or less. So it was what kind of curse can squeeze in that time frame. So Tosa said kal im, which means like wipe them out. Kilion is destruction. So that's the idea here. That pasuk says not la'anoso but lechaloso. They will be able to wipe you out again. That's his question. Why do we change from Inuit to Kilion? So here's the inside. Rav Huna Rami Ksiv. Rav Huna, point out this contradiction of Psukim, because one pasuk says Ksiv la'anoso, it's written la'anoso in our pasuk. They will no longer hassle you, oppress you, something like that. Uksiv, but in Divrei Yomim, instead the exact same pasuk says l'chaloso, so they will not be able to destroy you. Obviously, like the bar is being lowered a long way. If you're impervious to hassle, that's like different than they're going to hassle you, but you won't be dead. It's a much lower standard. So he answers, "B'tchila la'anoso." In the beginning, before they had sinned, as Rashi speaks out. So when the Beis Hamikdash was first built, then they were like impervious to any oppression whatsoever from the third parties. And obviously, if you think about it, David Melech's time, the Jews were ascendant. The golden age of Bais Rishon was the time of David and Shlomo, when the Jews were expanding their borders, and there was no one really harassing them. So that was in the beginning, but later on, as sin crept in, they were harassed, just they weren't totally destroyed, as Mosaic, of course, the Jews survived, but it didn't have 10 lost tribes and that kind of stuff in the meantime. So it was definitely harassment happening by Sheni time, and by Rishon time, despite the fact that it was the Beis Hamikdash, but Hashem protect them from total destruction, just hassle, but not hassle, just oppression, but not total annihilation. That's the sugya. Fine. This is a quasi-halachic point. Let's just speak out. And as we've sort of, hello, the Gemara is about halacha, but we have been ventured away from halacha for a long time, as how these different nice hashkafic ideas. So even though I don't see a Masoras Hashas, a mishpat, a citation of where this is brought down in Shulchan Aruch, the Gemara is certainly saying that it's proper to have a place, your place, where you learn. I guess, I'm just speculating now. It doesn't say that, it doesn't give a citation only because we had already said Kol Kovei Malchum Tfilaso, Elokei Avram Be'ozro, and that we did give a Mar Malchum form that you should have. So I presume that's the reason why. But if you take the gears of the Rif is passing on the halacha also, that's what the Rif is doing, that you should have a place for your Torah learning, if you can. That should be a place, your refuge where you learn. Okay, that would be a halacha point. Okay, very good. Now another in the string, I think it's number 8. Amar of Yochanan Mishum Bar Chai, Gedola Shimusha Shel Torah, Yoser Melimuda. It's greater, serving the Talmud Chacham, that's how I'll translate it, is even greater than learning from him. Or literally, serving the Torah, service of the Torah is greater than learning of the Torah. Says the Shemar Vai. How do you know that? Shneimar, because the pasuk says they're talking about Elisha. Elisha, the Navi, was a student of Eliyahu. And when we describe Elisha, we should have referred to him as the protege of Eliyahu. That was his claim to fame. But that's not what it says. When they talk about Elisha, they said, Ho Elisha ben Shaphat. Here is Elisha ben Shaphat, that was his name. Asher, who, not that he learned from Eliyahu or his protege or whatever it is, rather, Asher Yatzak Ma'im al Yedei Eliyahu. He was the guy who used to wash Eliyahu's hands. That was his. Sorry?
He must have been a Levi, yeah.
No, that's a pshat.
I'm not so sure it would be.
I think that's the pshat. I don't think that's the pshat. I think the pshat is that someone had to get the water to wash.
Would it be significant if he was? I mean, it seems to me that it'd be more significant if he wasn't Levi. Otherwise, he's just doing his duty, right? Here he's serving.
Correct. That's what I think. That's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know for a fact offhand either way, but I don't think that's what's going on over here. I forgot to mention, by the way, just as a point, that although the lechaloso that I mentioned before, which is what the pasuk says in the Riyamim, it's actually a Greek siv, meaning that the way it's written is not the way it's read, and when it's actually read, it's to be pronounced levaloso, so which means to be worn out. Okay, so they won't be able to wear you out, whatever it is. I should say that because reading the pasuk. Anyway, sorry, back to this. So Elisha is described as the one who washed Eliyahu's hands, and not V'lo ne'amar ela yatzak. It didn't describe anything other. I'm sorry. I read that badly. Again, it says, Po Elisha ben Shaphat asher yatzak mayim al yidei Eliyahu, end quote. Then, Lamad lo ne'amar, it doesn't say he learned from Eliyahu, which he did, and that would be great, right? Ella yatzak, it just says he poured water on his hands. Malamed, to teach you, shegedola, shemusha yotzer, milimuda, that having served Eliyahu is actually a greater than having learned from him. Now, the Maharsha speaks out, and others, I guess, more or less everyone does, in one of two veins here. The issue, it's not as simple as it sounds. The point is that in serving the Talmud Chacham, you're learning from him. That's how the Maharsha explains. Like you're learning from him. I don't know if it's, I guess if we say qualitative or quantitatively, but you're learning more from him than just simply learning from him. Whatever that is. If you're his right hand man, as Elisha was, then you see him living the life of a Talmud Chacham in action. You pick up a lot more than just what's shot in this line of the Gemara. You're actually seeing how he behaved and how he did his thing in real life, and that's better than just sitting in the yeshiva and learning from the person. There's more to be learned in the real life forum. That's greater. And oftentimes, Shimush Talmid Chachamim, like elsewhere, the Gemara will say that if you have there to be different definitions of an Amaretz. We'll see if we get there. But one of the definitions is like the bar is usually set quite low. Most opinions are like, oh, the guy doesn't say Kriya Shema, or the guy doesn't, he doesn't send his kids to Jewish schools, because the bar is very low. But then the high end of the bar opinion is anybody who, even if you learn in those old Tanakh, those old Mishnah, but he wasn't Mishamish Talmidei Chachamim, he's still an Amaretz. And the pshat over there is like just being book smart. That's what the Torah is. The Torah is seeing how Torah is meant to be played out in real life, and until you've seen how they think about things and deal with things and relate to the Torah as real human beings in 3 dimensions, so you still don't really get it. You're still an Amaretz.
I see a very interesting image here in the issue of washing hands, because mayim is a symbol of Torah, and when you wash someone's hands, you maybe get something splashed on you or something. And it's just very interesting, because it could be other ways of saying serving your teacher besides washing hands. Interesting.
There's a Mishnah Padowitz in the beginning there, which you remind me of, where it says you should be mit'abek b'afar ragleihem. You should get dusty in the dust of their feet. So one shot there is one shot there is that you should you sit before with them when they're learning, and you should be close enough that you it splashes up on you, so to speak. And it also says that you should be heavy with some you should drink their words with thirst there also, which is the same way you should be so keen that accident you should get up close and personal. But that's whatever there's different nuanced approaches to exactly what's going on here. But all I want to say is the point isn't, according to most, I think, it is not that what you see on face value of the Gemara, that it's better to wash the Talmud Chacham's hands than it is to learn Torah from him. That's not the point. The point is in having intimate access with him and seeing how he does his real life. That's Torah in action. It's not unlike the way I tried to describe it. I didn't do a good job, then I don't think either, but I tried dancing around it. We had the Gemara before, we talked about how when 3 people are being Dayanim, the Shekhinah is there. We said, what's the Havamina? The Havamina it's the Shloma Ba'alma, just providing a public service and making peace. But no, this is in a sense where you see the Torah and 3D, or Torah Live and Torah Lab. I don't know how to describe it. The point is seeing the Torah as a kind of 2-dimensional text. That's not what the Torah is. The Torah is
living.
Yeah, Torah is the life that Hashem wants to be lived, and if it's just in a book, you're missing the point. So that's why shimusha means you're getting your hands dirty, so to speak, with real life with Talmud Chacham. That's much more instructive and greater sort of getting it than just in a book. You definitely one thing you definitely see in the extreme. You can definitely find Talmudic scholars in the University of yada yada. They're don't, even if they're like supposed, even if they're Shomer Shabbos, they could like be like, they don't get it. Like they're like, you hear them talking, you see they're not really getting like what the Torah is getting at. They're missing the point, sort of thing. You know the technical stuff, but they're not into Jewishness. There's a difference between being a Jew and knowing the Torah text.
It could also be that practical shimush teaches you something different to what it,
100%.
our custom is not like it says there.
Right. Also, indeed, that's also true. It's not my Rabbi. See how they handle
The
this.
early morning shiur this morning was about sitting shiva and when, and when it applies, so there's all different opinions and, we don't necessarily go according to this or mandal or that.
Right. We see how it's really done, and that's certainly that's how the Masorah has always been passed on, right? That you do what you saw people doing. Like, 'cause there was a lot of objection. There is objection. There has an objection. Like the Mishnah Berurah became sort of like the definitive bottom line for Ashkenazi Jewry or Chaim. Like this, oftentimes, like he says stuff which may be true according to like sources. That's not the point. But like no one did it that way in recent memory, or people mocked that recent memory. And like a lot of times you have like these. Let's blame it on the Balei Tshuva. Just to keep it simple. These Balei Tshuva will like say, "What are you doing?" Like the Mishnah Berurah says, "Don't do that," and the person says, "Well, yeah, but my family's done this since time immemorial. This is how we do things." There's like a conflict between like how it's done in real life and what the text says. There's a tricky balance. I don't want to resolve that problem here now. But the point is indeed that you certainly, the Jewish way certainly meant to do is you saw your Rabbi before you did, not necessarily what the text says or the Rabbi know about it. So yes, so that's what's going on over here. The Shimush gives something that the Lima never would otherwise.
Is the Gemara suggesting that if you have a choice between washing hands and tending a shear, you should wash hands? Or are they assuming you're already attending a shear, go for the gold and wash
It's definitely saying that they give you your options, like, so to speak. It's saying you could either drive the Rav to his appointment, you'll miss shear, or go to shear instead. It's definitely saying you should drive the Rav to the appointment. That's what it's saying, right? That's in real life. Because obviously you'll go back to learning after the point. The price you'd pay if you have to choose between going to shear and doing the driving the Rav to wherever he has to go.
You should understand that driving or washing.
Yeah, just seeing him in action is more valuable. In whatever that means, yeah. I once drove Roseli Epstein home. Roseli was my Rosh Yeshiva when I was in New York. I once drove him back to Brooklyn. I forgot why. Inside a car. I was old. All the other kids didn't have cars and they were younger than I was, and I was like older than everyone else. So I had a car. I just drove him. I remember it was a very memorable time. Even though we didn't say very much, but whatever we said, I remember. Anyways, yes. Good. Moving on. So now, a new point here. Amarle Rabbi Yitzchak. Here this is gonna be like I guess the 9th. We're keeping track here. Yeah, the 9th of Yochanan Mishum Berachai. But it doesn't start that way. We get to the point in a minute. It starts like this. Amarle Rabbi Yitzchak Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman was a heavy-duty person. Rabbi Yitzchak asked him, "My tamalo asimar lebekanishta. Why in the world of Nachman did you come to shul today?" So let's saluye. So you should pray with the tzibur. Amalei lo yechilma. So Nachman said I couldn't. Rashi understands it. He just didn't have the strength to go. Which the Mishnah Berurah speaks out, calls an onus, even if you're not sick, which is worth pointing out. Again, the Mishnah Berurah understands the sugya, as far as I understand the Mishnah Berurah is understanding it, that you're called an onus if you can't go. You're just too tired. You're just too tired to get up and go, even though he's not sick. He didn't have the energy. So lo yechilma, I wasn't able to go because I was too worn out. Amalei. So then Rabbi Yitzchak says that if you're not going to daven in the shul, at least lechanfei mar asara, at least gather together 10 people, v'litzali, and then you could pray as a minyan at home. Amalei. Trichali, so that's like a tircha. It's like, it's a big job for me. I'm not up for that task of getting everyone together. I saw in the article footnote, he quotes from Magen Avraham, I didn't see it inside, that some understand it means he felt it was too much of a tircha on the tzibur to gather them together to make a private union in his house. partial put it I didn't take the side. But the Pashut Pshat is, like, come on, it's a big hassle. I'm going to go and find people to knock on doors. That's the whole point. I'm too tired. Whatever the story is. So V'lema Mar, so at least, says Rabbi Yitzchak, why don't you, well, yes, pastoring, why don't you at least tell the Shlucha, the Tzibura, tell the Shliach Tzibur, that Be'ed the Matz, the Tzibura, at the time the community is Misali, is praying, lazy, if someone come, Lo Dilamar, let him tell you when the Tzibur is praying so you can pray with them. Amarle, so Rav Nachman responds back, my kulihai, like what are you driving me crazy for? What do you want from me? I mean, literally it means my kulihai, like what's all the big fuss? What's this all about? But it means like, why are you making me crazy if I think of the shul one day? Big deal, I daven there, oh, what's the problem? Amarle, he says, because listen, the Amar, and here's the connection, Amar V'yochem Mishum Shum Berachai, my diksiv, what does it mean when the pasuk says, Va'ani tfilasi lecha Hashem eis ratzon, and my prayer is to you, I make sure that my prayer is to you at an Eis Ratzon, like at the auspicious time, literally Eis Ratzon, a time where Hashem, Ratzui is like,
Desire.
desirable, yeah, somewhere then. Favorable, that's favorable, yeah, desirable, favorable time, meaning Hashem is more receptive, auspicious, that's what I said, yeah. So, the point is, what does it mean? Like, what's that supposed to mean? That all of a sudden, David Melech says, I pray you at the auspicious time. Like, what's that mean? Emasai, Eis Ratzon, so when do you suppose is the auspicious time to daven? So he answers, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai answers, Bishash at Sibur Mispalim, the time that everyone else is praying. And by the way, praying here means Shemona Esrei, right? So in other words, the Eis Ratzon, to have your prayers answered and received, is when the Tzibur, the community, is praying to, that, window of Shemona Esrei. So that's the point. Again, so this, just keep the sugya in mind, this is like a couple lines long. Rav Nachman didn't have the shul. We said, "What gives? Why did you come? You should have tried to make a meeting, but at least find out when they're davening. If Shemona Esrei starts at 7:25 a.m., it's like, why did you? They have watches. That's the problem. Let someone tell you, hey, it's 7:25. You should daven now. They're davening too. So, this is what's the big deal. The answer is because that's called the Eis Ratzon. Okay. And that, by the way, is also brought on the halacha then. Here's a halacha point. I'll finish in a second, I guess. But here, Rabbi Yossi doesn't disagree with this, but he brings an alternate pasuk. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, Amar Malacha. He says the source is from here. Ko Amar Hashem. Hashem said, "The Eis Ratzon Ani Sicha." And at the auspicious time, I will answer you. So it's another pasuk telling us an Eis Ratzon, and that is when the community is davening. Rabbi Acha, there's another pasuk, Rabbi Chanina. Amar Mahacha. This passage is quoted a lot, like more often. The way I'll read it and translate it based on the context here is Hein Kel, like behold, he is God, like behold God, like that. Kabir v'lo yimas. When you have kabir means like mighty, like a mighty crowd. V'lo yimas, and it will not be rejected. So meaning that Hashem doesn't reject when the strength in numbers. It doesn't reject a group. The truth is, I don't get into that pasuk in Iyov now, but the Pashut Pshat probably is that the word kabir is an adjective describing Kel. Like he is like a mighty God, below Yimas, something like that. It doesn't matter. The point is, the proof text here is put in the comma between Kel and kabir. He doesn't. Yimas doesn't reject the kabir, the numerous. Okay, fine. Luksiv, another pasuk, the fourth pasuk, again evidencing that you have Eis Ratzon, that there's power numbers, and it's Tzibur is davening, that's Eis Ratzon. Pada v'shalom nafshi, mikrav li, Hashem redeems my soul in peace, mikrav li. So, Rashi says that means milchamos sabos alai. Hashem redeemed my soul from the battles that came upon me. Kibarabim hayu imadi. Because kibarabim, I was with the masses, hayu imadi, who were with me. Because the masses were with me, I was with them. End quote. Meaning, because of the sukkos of being with the rabbim, the tzibur, Hashem redeemed my soul in peace from the hardships that face me. Just as a matter of question, my Hebrew's not good enough. This word krav, which Rashi understands mean wars, is the word, there's a Israeli martial art called Krav Maga. What does that mean?
Close contact.
Is that what it's close contact?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it meant. Okay, but then never mind. I don't know what's pshat. I'm just confessing my ignorance here. I don't understand why the word krav indicates battles. I just don't know.
Because that's when you have battle, when you're in close contact.
Yes, I can make an answer, but I don't know that.
It's combat.
I'm stuck familiar with the language. The language is, I don't know, but the word krav, I don't know. I just don't know. My Hebrews are good enough, or I don't know. There's something I'm missing. But anyway, okay.
Well, I remember being told it meant close combat, so maybe krav could be either one, close or combat. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. So maybe it's a double contract, but that's
Right,
exactly
yeah.
what exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. Yeah. Magam means certainly means like contact. Krav. Maybe that's what it means. Maybe that's exactly the point. That's it. That's what I thought. Maybe krav magam means like, full body contact fighting. Oh yeah, whatever it is. The point is,
But
that's what the word means.
doesn't mean swords or spears or bullets.
I guess it really means like what's the word melee in English, right? Like, yeah. Okay. I mean, just let me clarify. I've translated every word for you for 7th daf running, and I'm just translating this word too. Every word only means something because I've heard it before. Just I haven't seen that word before, so I'm just querying it. There's nothing mysterious going on here. Except I just don't know the word in that context. I used it before. Seder, fine. Tanya Mihachi, by the way, this idea of the Eis Ratzon is when the Tzibur is praying, it's a great time to be heard, and it has great virtue. It's actually established in a Brisa previously. Tanya Mihachi, it's also said in a Brisa. Rabbi Nasan Omer, Menayin she'en HaKadosh Baruch Hu moes b'tfilasen shel Ravim. How do you know that Hashem doesn't reject? Moes means to be disgusted. But, yeah, so in other words, Hashem isn't disgusted and rejects the prayer of the masses. I think the pshat here, this is only me speaking, okay? But the issue of mius would be, it's brought down in Chazal, it's brought down like a halacha, that it's better to daven at Sibur, even if they're like, Rishayim and blah blah, in the minyan with you, than davening alone. So I think the pshat is because of this, that you might have Havamina, that like a bunch of lowlives praying together, so like Hashem's not interested in hearing these lowlives prayers. No, not true. When the masses pray, even if amongst them are lowlives, as a unit, Hashem is not off-put by them praying, by their prayers.
Could it be that the English word crowd comes from crowd?
I don't know. Maybe it could be. I don't know. I have no idea what practice is.
The price begins with Rabbi Nathan.
Rabbi Nasan. Rabbi Nasan, the box begins there. So, how do you know Hashem is not moes but tfilas shel Rabim? He's not off-put by the masses' prayer. Shneimar, the pasuk says, Ein kel kabir v'lo yimas. So, comma, whereas I pause. He is a behold God, comma. That's how you have to read it. Kabir v'lo yimas. With the masses, he is not. Mos. Again, obviously, the Brisa here use the word moes because of the yimas, obviously, but the point is, what's it getting at? Okay, fine. Uksiv, and the pasuk also says, Pata b'shalom nafshi mikrav li v'gomer, same pasuk again. Amakash Baruch Hu, Hashem said, this is a continuation of the Brisa. This is amazing. Kol ha'osek b'Torah, if anyone who learns Torah, b'gimlus chasadim, and also is osek in acts of chesed, dispal im hatzibur, and prays with the minyan. So mada ani alava, I scribe it upstairs in the books, ki'ilu, as if pada'ani li uluvanai, that he redeemed me and my children, meaning the Jewish people, and bein umas olam, from amongst the umas. In other words, and brisa. So, which essentially means that anyone who does, his proper amount of Torah, Chesed and Avoda of Daven Dominion. So then that's like well, more do you want from a guy already? That's if everyone would just do that, then we would be out of Gullus on the spot. And the only reason we're still lingering in Gullus and the Chilushim that comes with it is because not everyone's doing that. But if everyone would, we would be out of this mess. Hashem would be redeemed on the spot. Therefore, if you're doing your fair share, so to speak, and your slate is as if you've undone the Gullus. You've done what you could. You did what you can. Those 3 ingredients. Osek b'Torah, Gemut Chasadim, and also the Palel im Hatzibur. So I know Rabbi Melinowitz oftentimes, like when he talks to people about life in general, like that's always like the beginning. Like, have you set aside a time to learn Torah? Do you dive into time to like this baseline? Like get your basic acts together like this first before you worry about other stuff. Once you have the bedrock, then you can worry about everything else. Otherwise, you're missing the boat. Okay, so that's the price. Good. So this is a halachic point here also. We're going to see there's an image but here that there's a din. The first din you see here, it's brought down in Shulchan Aruch or Chaim Daf Tzadi, Simon Tzadi, that it's Sif Tes, that if you are going to daven at home, you should daven at the same time the shul is davening. Right? You should know, like, if you have a regular minyan, so you notice they're pretty consistent nowadays. A little clock on the wall because it starts at 7 a.m. Then it's you get to Shemon Esrei exactly 7:25, whatever the story is. So then you should daven then. If you can't get out of bed or whatever, because or if you're sitting in the hospital, whatever the story is, because that's an acer of its own. It's a little interesting. We had seen something very similar to this. If you remember previously, we said that Hashem, a person's tefillas are always heard in the basic Knesset. Right?
I've done that before.
Where do we see that? You know where that was? That was where Hashem can be found, which is on Daf. Daf, where's Daf? Vav. Right, remember? Zer's running because he heard the chase of Ezekiel looking for the film. That's where Hashem can be found. So the main part of the Hashem being found was the 10, 3, 2, 1 business. But we'd also along the way said you should pray in a shul because Makom Rina, Risha Tefillah. Yeah. Ben Yomin Omer, Ein Tefillah Shel Adam Nishmas Elu Beis HaKnesses. So, Shneimar L'Shmuel Avinim El Tefillah. So I have a bit of a conflict here. In other words, let's put this question: what happens if you have two options? You can't get out of bed yet because you're too tired, whatever it is. So you can't get out of the house now. So should you daven at 7:25 from your bedroom whenever not the minyan's davening, or should you wait till 9:30 to get out of bed? And then you'll daven the Yechidus, but at least you can do it in the shul. Which one should you do? Assuming both are within the Zman of Tefillah. So it seems that this Eis Ratzon is much more potent. Therefore, you should daven from home when the shul is davening rather than daven the Yechidus in a shul. With the tzibur, temporally is better than the place with tzibur davens. But it's brought down both. In other words, you should daven in a shul if you can. You should daven in a daven with a tzibur time, same time with them. And if you miss the time, you should still go to shul to daven like at 9:30 in the morning. And then you see that, obviously, I'm sure you see that every day. People daven in the shul. If you daven home, they come to daven in the shul, which is proper.
They don't belong to the shul that has a minion factory.
They do that, but sometimes
Can't go wrong.
Still a shul.
It's a shul, that's for sure. Yeah, we think you'll find a minion too, you can put 2 for 1. But that's it. I saw interestingly, by the way,
Go to work.
the Shabura speaks out, just a slide point, then those halachas there, that if you're, this is interesting, that the Talmud Chacham still should daven at home, not go to shul, because of the Chil Hashem, people seeing him davening, not with the minion. Interesting. I don't know what to do with that. What is that? But it's pointing it out to you.
You're by yourself in the shul.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Why is it interesting to me? Interesting to me because,
Marasai.
well, my rule of thumb, what it's worth, is like, because people often ask questions like, how can we do that? Like, how can we walk around like without our beard shaven in London? Everyone will think Jews are a slovenly bunch, and blah 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 blah. So my answer always is, listen, if you're doing the right thing, that's not called the Chil Hashem. Like that's, Chil Hashem doesn't mean what the Goyim think of you or Jews think of you. It does. So here's a situation where it's not like that. That's what's unusual. And the right thing to do is to daven in the shul, and yet we're saying because of Chil Hashem, you shouldn't. That's why it's interesting to me. I have to root some of it. The teretz could be like, this isn't about Hashem, it's about you getting your prayers answered, so that, don't do Chil Hashem. Whatever the answer is. I was pointing out to you, it's interesting. To me, it's interesting.
And isn't there another idea, like that example of whether you should stay at home or go to the 9 o'clock? Is you should always do the first thing that comes, in case some distraction comes up later.
I guess it is a cheshbon, but I mean, in real life, in Tafas, I'm not posting, but I can't imagine. Let's say, for example, basically we have a 7 minute and we have 8 minute. I can't imagine if you're ready to daven at 7:30, you should say, well, I better daven now, I'll have a chance. The Yechid is at home. Instead of waiting half an hour until 8 o'clock.
No,
That's not-
no.
That's not what you meant. That's not what you meant.
We're talking about just being in shul with
Yeah.
davening.
Right? Or,
Or davening Yechidus at home. And the Eis Ratzon.
so there, yeah, correct. You're correct. And that's, in that case, you should for sure daven with the Eis Ratzon when everyone else is davening at home. Period. But if you happen to have missed that,
Oh, okay.
then don't say, well, anyways, I'll just daven at home. No, you should. There's a separate mile of going to shul. Let me rehearse what I said. It's missing clear. We said two independent things. One is davening a shul is meritorious all to its own self. So Marv, you missed the last Marv, now it's 2 a.m. So the right thing to do is to do that praying your Marv in the shul instead of in your home. I don't know if I do that or anything. But anyways, that's din number one.
Is it open to it?
What? Here it happens to be long.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have to confess, I don't think I'm becoming anyways. But anyway, the point is, that's what I'm saying. The din is that you should daven in the shul rather than daven at home. One thing. We said a separate thing, which is, if you're davening not in the shul, you should daven when everyone else is davening. Based on what's on the stupid davens. That's two clear dinim, like, good, have a nice day. I just put the question to the table, well, I can think of a case where you have to choose between the two. Choose to daven early with the minion Eis Ratzon at home, or daven late in the shul without, so that forces you to say which is more potent, the Eis Ratzon or the being in the shul. So I'm answering that question, which is Eis Ratzon is more potent, and you should definitely do that if you can. But if you can't or you didn't, so then at least go to shul and daven, later on. Even I don't know. This Talmud Chacham thing might sound strange, like the Chil Hashem thing might sound strange to you. But what about, let's just say, you're allowed to daven Shafris if you're an onus until Chatzos, even though you're supposed to daven by the 4th hour of the day. But B'diavad, you can go till the 6th hour of the day. You with me? So, let's say a person, whatever, and so he overslept or couldn't get a bed, or the story is, until after the 4th hour. His one tefillah is passed. So he rocks up at shul at 11:15 in the morning and starts putting on tefillah and saying Shabbos. Should he do that, or should he just daven at home? Because it looks ridiculous that a guy's, daven at 11:15 makes it like, especially if you're Talmud Chacham, I think, well, if he can daven at 11:15, I can daven at 11:15 in the morning.
Still wired.
That's the issue that's going on here. But anyways, let's look at the Mishnah Berurah says, no, you should daven at home. I don't know, it doesn't apply to me, I don't know if it applies to, but anyways, that's the story. Okay, any other questions on this piece?
I was thinking, what if you do both?
Well, getting both is great.
And you
That's
start at home and go to
the-
shul.
That's the best, obviously. That's the best. That's the best. That's a normal day.
Then it's obviously not a problem because people do it, because we're told to do it, but why is it not a problem when, if we miss Shakri completely, then we put on the film at Mikveh?
I haven't followed the question.
If you miss Shakri completely.
Yeah, what
So
do you
you
wait
should-
for mincha to put on this fella?
I'm sorry?
What's your question exactly?
My question is, so why is it not any kind of Chil Hashem to put on?
Well, the Chil Hashem, the issue was you're a Talmud Chacham, like people looking at you and think, look, that's how it works. Well, I saw the rabbi davening at 11:15, so don't get off my back, mom, that I'm sitting about till 9 o'clock. But that's the issue at hand here, I think. Or see the rabbi, pure Chil Hashem, really, as I've described it before, is making people take Hashem less seriously. So what is, if the rabbi is at 11:15, so obviously this stuff is not that big a deal, million stuff, So that Chil Hashem probably would apply to regular people like you and me. But the Rav is the Rav. If the Rav starts, it would be mighty strange. If you go downstairs now and you see the Rav with the tefillin davening shafros now, that would probably have a very strange impact on you. Like, what are we doing? That's the point. So then Mishnah Berurah is saying better keep daven in his office with the door closed. People shouldn't think like, what the heck is he doing, and make people not take things seriously. I don't know the answer. If your question was people who miss shafros for a reason, why do they wait till midnight?
No,
Which is what I do. I don't know the answer to the question. I'm not even sure. I'm going to ask the question to you. Maybe you have an answer for me. I missed shafros this morning because I had upset stomach and I couldn't put on my tefillin. I davened shafros without my tefillin on, let's say. So now I have to put on tefillin sometime. So what I think I would do is put them on mincha time. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering now, based on your question,
Hasidim do that.
but why? Maybe I should. I don't answer. So what? Maybe it's a mitzvah d'oraisa. Why should you delay?
I
Maybe
want to
just-
take them off, or put them on, leave them on for all minutes, but then take it off.
I mean, what I've seen people do, maybe that happens when they, not in their houses. I don't see people having upset stomachs. I'm unaware of that, and I don't see them what they do next. But I do see people davening mincha with tefillin on from time to time because they didn't put on shafras for whatever reason. So I'm asking questions to you all, which I don't have an answer to. Just like that's also, well, I guess that's, I'll leave that out. But why are they doing that? Why don't they, forget it, I'll bring that point in a minute. But here's the question. The question is, like, is that the right thing to do? Maybe a person should, as soon as is able to put on tefillin, let him put them on. And just put them on, and I don't know, say Kriya Shema, talking like, not a mincha time. And then take them off afterwards, because like, why should you wait till mincha to put on your tefillin? They're not going to, for sure. Even though people don't. People, as far as I know, I observe, people, what I've always done, I guess, is put on tefillin at mincha if I miss shafras for some reason. Maybe I suspect the reason I do it is because that's what I see, and maybe because it's where that happens on Tisha B'Av. On Tisha B'Av, we wait till mincha time.
Because it's seaboard also.
Yeah, but there, everyone doing it together, and it's immediate. Normally, what happens is, like,
Never really
a
knows.
mincha katana, whatever. Yeah, everyone knows. So I don't know. It's an interesting question. I would like to know the answer to that question.
Just a donut of Swiss on, if you do it, say Talmud Chacham, it's davening late,
Yeah.
it might be Rabbeinu Tam.
I don't follow.
Rabbeinu Tam to fill it, like he didn't get it.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. You put in a second pair of tefillin already for the morning. Okay, good. Very good. Okay. Ooh, we're short of time. Well, the good thing being short on time is that you'll buy me till tomorrow to come up with my simon. No, the simon is like strong. The simon is easy, but it's exactly how to frame it is hard. Let's take a few minutes to review the daf, and those few minutes we have, and then you can also the simon will percolate, and then I'll come up with the exact nusach by tomorrow. By Sunday, Bez Hashem. Here, Zion is a gun. Now, that might not be so clear to you why, because the word Zion in Hebrew, the letter Zion, the word Zion means like a weapon. A weapon. So that's what you didn't know, you didn't know. For what it's just an FYI, I understand that in slang it refers to the male organ, like his weapon. So, but anyways, so you just bring that to your attention in case it is nogea to deal with it. Anyways, the word Zion is a perfectly respectable word. Clay Zion are like weapons. Okay? So it's in slang, it's like a rude. I'm just slang it.
I thought it was Nezek.
No, Nezek, Neshek.
Neshek, yeah, that's...
That's the normal use. Yeah, if you would say, I'm agreeing with you. I wasn't clear. Again, if you tap someone regular Israeli in the street and say like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, if you refer to a gun as a Zion, people start laughing at you. That's the reason I'm telling you in the first place, because it's sort of inappropriate. Okay? Like, so, I'm not careful. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's because some people talk about the word Zion, and it means a gun. That's, I need a symbol for Zion, that's what it is. It's a gun. Nikuda. I bring it to your attention, you shouldn't embarrass yourself at some point, using the word Zion in public. It's a gun, because it has a funny, connotation. Anyways, that's the sign. So exactly, I don't know how we're going to phrase the exact nusach of our simon, but you'll see that it fits in quite nicely, because how it will be exactly, let's just review what we saw in Daf Zion. We saw, it's a long series. The first one is Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Biosi, how do you know that Hashem prays? And then we went on to say what he prays, and is basically that Hashem has bracha which overcomes din, and then we saw Rabbi Shmuel gave a bracha, and Elisha gave a bracha in the Kaddish Kedoshim. That's one. And the story of Hashem's Katri or whatever Hashem appeared. Then the second memra on the Zion Aleph was line 16. Menayin Shein, again from Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Biosi. Menayin Shein Meratzon La'adam B'Shas Kaso. How do you shouldn't appease a person who's angry? And we don't have to say that Hashem has a moment of anger, and that's part of his Hagas Hashem. We said every day is a moment of anger, and then Bilam knew how to tap into that thing, and he wanted to. If it wouldn't be that Hashem being angry in those days, he would have done the Jewish people in, Bilam would have. And then, fine. And how long is that moment of anger? It's just it's a rega, which we have two versions. Either it's like a 58,000th of an hour, or it's how long it takes a rega. Fine. And it happens when the chicken it stands on one foot and has a white comb, and no red stripes. And it actually happened once upon a time. Shimon Levi was being bothered by the Stuki and he wanted to zap him, but then he fell asleep in that moment and he learned that's not the proper thing to do. And then the third statement of Yossi says a moment of Mardus Achas Belibo, like self-reproach, self-regret, something like that, is better than being whipped a few times, 100 times, because from inside it should come. Then Rabbi Yossi, that Moshe Rabbeinu asked 3 things that were granted to him, and then we had the different machlokas. 2 things were granted, 3 things granted, right or wrong to ask, right or wrong to turn away from the sneh. A little complicated, but the 3 things he wanted was Shekhinah in Yisrael, and that just uniquely to Yisrael. Hashem should go with the Jewish people, and that he should have Shekhinah just on the Jewish people, not others. That was granted. Then Hashem, he requested to know his Durachav, Hashem's ways, and that, since we machlokas, if he did see or didn't see, or saw it in part, he only saw the back of his head, which was Kesh Shal Tefillin, that will sugya there. Fine. And then, at the bottom, not already line 49, Rabbi Yochanan Shum Yossi, let's skip one. Yeah, that's it. Rabbi Yochanan Shum Yossi, whenever Hashem says something, he doesn't go back on it. If it's for good, it was fulfilled through Rechavia, Moshe's grandchild, whatever that, even though Moshe didn't start new Jewish people, but still he had a massive multitude coming out of him. Fine. That's that. That was Daf Zion. So Daf Zion really, when it uses our mnemonic, are basically memories of Rabbi Yochanan Shum Yossi, a bunch of them. And I told you it's like from Havdas Hashem, when he gets angry, how he prays, his need to get Rachman over the din, and so on. On Daf Zion Lebeis, we saw a series of, I guess, what ends up being 8 on this Amud, or 9. He had 9 on this Amud. Statements of Rabbi Yochanan, not in the name of Rabbi Yosef or Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The first person to call Hashem Adon was Abraham. The second was, fine. The second one was, again, that you shouldn't be maratza, appease a person when he's in his moments of anger, twice, by Rabbi Yochanan, just one named Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Yossi. The third, Leah was the first person to have Hoda'ah, Yehuda, and then we lapsed into Reuven, with the difference in me and my son and my father-in-law's son, and went to Rus, and so on. Fine. Then we had the third or the fourth maybe, that Tarbus Ra, a child that's gone off the derech, we described it at length yesterday, a child that hasn't assimilated the values you want him to assimilate, or maybe it's as bad as Avshalom, is worse than Gog and Magog. And we discussed how David HaMelech said Mizmor, not Kina, when he found Avshalom, because he thought it would be worse. And Taka, I told you the shot that Avshalom Taka did have mercy on him for moments, and therefore David was able to get away and survived it. Then we have, I guess, the 5th, 6th, Rabbi Yochanan Shum Yossi and Shimon Bar Yochai, that you're allowed to contend with Rishayim. Then we had a kasha. If someone says, what about this pasuk? We said that's just because his libodop, his heart is, he's got a bad conscience, a guilty conscience. That's not a kasha in that pasuk. That's what the pasuk means. The pasuk there means don't be jealous of them, not become kin of them. But then we said, well, we have other members that says, Rabbi Yitzchak said, that when a Rush is having Shamas Chekes Lo, he's having on a winning streak, don't mess with him. So how do you resolve that? Should you or shouldn't you take up against Russia? And we give 4 different answers. Either depends if it's a personal matter or a heavenly matter, if it's Shamas Chekes Lo or not, if it's Russia Gomor Ve'eno Gomor, or Stam Shamas Chekes Lo, personal role is always different. That's that. And then finally, we saw the Mishnah said today, whatever they call it, the members of today, that you should be Kovei Amakim for your tefillah or for your learning, and if you do your enemies fall away from you or above you. We discussed changing the girsa from Shmuel base, where it was La Noso to afflict, versus La Chaloso Divrei Yamim to totally wipe us out because of sin. And finally, Shimush is greater than Limud, as you saw from Elisha, and then the story of Rav Huna asking Nachman why didn't daven, and then we said, well, that's because of Rabbi Yochanan said in Rabbi Shimon Yochai that the Eis Ratzon is when the Tzibur is davening. Fine, those are all the topics that are on the daf. I'm sure the exact gear, so we some praying, gun, begging for mercy, violence, but we'll see the exact. So.